So, Super Mario Bros. Wonder came out today, and boy, I'm having a blast. Absolutely having a blast. I don't want to stop playing. Unfortunately, I have to wait until next week when I do stream again, but regardless, I'm having a fantastic time with it. It's so great to see a Mario game with so much imagination, so many nice little touches and flares. I think this might be the most exciting Mario game we've had since, well, a long time. I don't really want to say for sure when the last most exciting Mario game was, but gosh, this is fantastic. I'm having a great time. There is one thing that I've not been very much looking forward to about this game, unfortunately. Yoshi, unfortunately, has come with some pretty mixed feelings for me. I was very excited to see him as a playable character in the first trailer we got, in the first direct. I was stoked. It was kind of one of those things where it was up in the air if he was going to be playable or not, but for sure he is, and that does come with some pluses and minuses. First though, I do want to take a little bit of time to, go ahead and chat about Yoshi. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are making their opinions known on most of the other aspects of this game. I want to just focus on Yoshi for now. Obviously, being the Yoshi fanatic, that's what I'm here for. So let's chat about Yoshi for a bit. As far as his visual design goes, I feel like there's not a lot here that's out of the ordinary, and trust me, that's a good thing. There's slight little polishes here and there. I feel like Yoshi's smile is a little bit more noticeable than it normally is here. I don't know what it is. Like, all of the characters look more expressive, and I think that Yoshi is no different. His model and his animations, they all look clean, very expressive, just like the other characters. I'm very happy about that. I have noticed that when he's flutter jumping or when he's like particularly exerting himself, like when he's pushing a pipe, or like I said, when he's flutter jumping, his nose will kind of turn a little bit more red. And that's a nice little touch. I don't think that's something we've seen really before. Like, obviously Yoshi's exerted himself in other Mario games and other Yoshi games. Like, that's not anything new, but just that little touch. That's something I'm noticing about this game just overall, is it's a lot of little touches that go a long way. But there is one little thing that I don't like about his design here, artistically speaking. Boy, when he eats something, when Yoshi eats something, he gets this massive underbite, and I don't get why they decided to go that route. Like, his entire lip wraps around the bottom half of his nose. It is not a very flattering look for our good boy Yoshi. It makes him look more like a frog than he already looks like. Like, he's starting to tread that fine line between dinosaur and frog. I don't know, man. Like, I miss the days when it was debated whether he was a dragon or a dinosaur, not a frog or a dinosaur. Like, that's not a good change of pace. But other than that, I can't really complain about how he looks in this game. He looks great. Again, very much the status quo as far as Yoshi goes. And again, that is a good thing. It does seem like Yoshi has new voice clips in this game. It doesn't sound like crazy different compared to his normal sound effects and voices in the Yoshi games. The first time we got actual Yoshi voice clips was in Yoshi's Story. That's when he kind of got his signature Yoshi, like that sort of sound. And he didn't get anything new after that until Super Mario Galaxy 2. I'm starting to think that this game actually does have newly recorded voice lines. I don't recall hearing these before. I don't really know how to describe it. He kind of just sounds, well, even more cutesy than normal. It really does sound like he's got new voice lines. His Yoshi sounds different. His flutter jumps, his gobble move sounds, it all sounds different. I do feel like these are newly recorded voice lines. Kind of like Mario and Luigi. Maybe even all the characters. I feel like there might actually be all new voice lines. And that's cool. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but I don't recall hearing these before. Not to make like a huge deal out of it. It's literally going from Yoshi to Yoshi. So, not exactly the most enormous jump or anything, but something to notice, I suppose. As far as how Yoshi actually plays in this game, like how he moves and controls, like I feel like he's pretty much on parity with the rest of the characters in terms of speed and jump arc and all that. Even the spin jump. Yoshi gets a spin jump in this game, which I guess that's to be expected. All of the characters do. But I was kind of surprised by that. Regardless, if you're just playing the game and just running and jumping as Yoshi, it doesn't really feel much different compared to the rest of the characters like Mario, Luigi. He even wall jumps, which is something new for Yoshi. Well, not exactly. There's the wall jumping for Yoshi in Super Mario Odyssey. But he straight up just has the Mario wall kick in this game, which, you know, makes sense for the 2D Mario sort of format. I guess I can't really complain about that. He feels great to play as. He can even use the badges, like the vertical wall jump for the extra wall kick. He can use that. He even gets a hat for the cap parachute badge. I didn't really try a lot of the other badges for him, but it is noteworthy to, well, note that Yoshi can in fact use the badges. That's really cool. I'm glad that they did not limit that. But on that same sort of topic, he doesn't get to use the power-ups. He kind of just eats them. Like, if you've played Mario Maker or I guess really any of the 2D Mario games with Yoshi in it, he can eat the power-ups. And in recent ones like New Super Mario Bros. Wii and Wii U and Mario Maker 2, when Yoshi eats the items, he just kind of holds them there in his mouth. Like, he doesn't absorb them. He doesn't do anything with them. He just eats them, holds them in his mouth, and he can spit them out like a Koopa shell. That's pretty much the end of that. It's not like Yoshi can interact with the items. When he grabs them, he just stores them in his inventory for to use later. It should probably bother me more that Yoshi doesn't get to use the power-ups, but it kind of makes sense, I suppose. He has a more varied moveset compared to everybody else. With the flutter jump and the gobble mechanics especially, playing as Yoshi wouldn't really be as much of a Yoshi experience if you did not have the flutter jump and the gobble move. I am kind of sad to see that the Yoshi eggs don't make an appearance here at all, at least as far as I can tell, but I feel like that would break him even more as a character than he already is broken. It kind of just makes sense to leave out the egg throwing mechanic and just leave that to the Yoshi games, but I am very glad to see that the flutter jump is here and the gobble move is here. Those are good to see. Though, I will say this, for sure one of the downsides to playing as Yoshi in Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the fact that you don't get to use the items. And I will say I'm more convinced of that after seeing this artwork, this fan art of what Nabbit and Yoshi would have looked like with the different power-ups. I do kind of feel like we missed out a little bit on that one. Especially with Bubble Yoshi. Bubble Yoshi is precious. That's all well and good, but I think it's time to address the elephant in the room, and I don't mean Elephant Mario. Yoshi is an easy mode character in this game, and that flattened my outlook a little bit on Yoshi here. On one hand, look, I'm an adult. I'm in my late 20s, almost early 30s, playing Nintendo video games that are made for children. I am not all about playing easy mode. I don't touch easy mode in the Yoshi games or pretty much any games that I play. I leave easy mode to the kiddies. But I'm the Yoshi fanatic, and this is the first time in a proper Super Mario Bros. Game that we've gotten to play as Yoshi proper. Just play straight up as Yoshi, as his own character, running and jumping through the levels without a character on his back. That's huge. It's been very much a struggle wanting to skip out on easy mode, but then I know that also means I have to skip out on playing Yoshi. I've had to kind of come to the compromise of I'll play a level as a different character, Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Toad, Toadette. I'll play through the levels as them first, and if I missed anything, I'll kind of leave it for later and come back to it and just play the level again as Yoshi. That's kind of where I'm at. If I feel like playing as Yoshi is going to cheat my experience of getting 100% in the level, then I won't do it. But come on. It's Yoshi in a proper Super Mario Bros. Game. I've gotta play as him sometimes. But admittedly, Yoshi's moveset does kind of make him an appropriate choice for easy mode. If you're going to assign easy mode to a specific character, it kind of makes sense for Yoshi. I mean, in his Yoshi's Island games, he doesn't take damage from enemies properly. In those games, you carried Baby Mario on your back, and Yoshi himself doesn't take damage. He does take knockback from enemies. He will die from normal obstacles like, crushing platforms or spikes, or fall pits or lava or any of that stuff. Like the normal instant kill traps, he will die from those. But he does not take damage from enemies in the Yoshi's Island games. He just drops Baby Mario. And when he's not carrying Baby Mario, he kind of just spins out of control when he gets hit by an enemy. Again, he does not take damage. So it kind of makes sense to do that for the Super Mario Bros. Wonder. If you're going to make Yoshi or anybody an easy mode character, that makes Yoshi an easy candidate. That and his flutter jump and gobble moves kind of make him a broken character to begin with. Just the fact that there was a section in that silhouette level where there were a bunch of Goombas and like the spring enemies blocking my path, and I just ate through them like nothing. If I was playing as any of the normal mode characters, I'd have had to use that Koopa shell and just dispose of them that way. But as Yoshi, I just ate them. And the flutter jump makes so much of the platforming easier, especially when you stack it with the parachute cap or with that vertical wall jump badge. Man, Yoshi breaks some of these levels. And again, it kind of makes sense to make him an easy character, if anything. Oh, I think it is worth noting that in Super Mario World and the new Super Mario Bros. Games, maybe Mario Maker as well, Yoshi can walk on spikes. And he can kind of do that in this game, but when he's walking on the spikes, he takes that knockback like a normal character would take damage, and then he can kind of just walk on them. So in essence, you can kind of just walk on the spikes in this game. So there you go. That comes from the other Mario games as well. That said, just because Yoshi has the flutter jump and the gobble move, I feel like you can balance the game around that. Other Mario games that have had multiple characters that you can play as have balanced their movesets. Nintendo has made them have like different strengths and weaknesses. Starting all the way back in Super Mario Bros. 2, or Doki Doki Panic if you prefer to call it that. Like Mario was your overall like average character to play as, didn't really have any notable strengths or weakness. He was kind of just average at everything. Luigi has his high jump that makes platforming a breeze in a lot of instances, even makes certain shortcuts possible, but at the same time, he's slow at pulling up turnips and enemies and stuff like that, and he's more difficult to control. That sort of trade-off is what I think could have worked here. Like they've done it in Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario 3D World, even Super Mario Run, where yes, Yoshi was a playable character, and he had his flutter jump move. Nintendo balanced the characters so that they have strengths and weaknesses in all of those instances, and I don't really understand why they didn't do that here. When they first announced that all of the normal characters that is, play exactly the same, Mario, Luigi, Toad, Toadette, Peach, and Daisy, they all have the same strengths and weaknesses, or lack thereof. They're all kind of just the Mario character. They don't have anything that really distinguishes them other than voice lines and their character models. That's pretty much it. I was kind of surprised to see that, and they saved the different attributes for easy mode characters. I don't think that was really the way to go. I get it. They wanted to make it so that if you wanted to play as Toadette, but didn't want to deal with any strengths or weaknesses that came with that, they wanted to make it easier for people to play whatever character they wanted to play as, and that's that. Kind of similar to the new Super Mario Bros. Games, the characters all acted like the same character. They didn't have any strengths or weaknesses. But I think it really is the inferior way to go. I think it would have been better to have the strengths and weaknesses to really set the characters apart. Truth be told, if you want to play as Toadette, I'd imagine that you'd be willing to learn and adapt to whatever strengths and weaknesses she has as a character if you really wanted to play her. I think Nintendo kind of screwed up with that one, to be honest. I really think that they could have balanced this in such a way that Yoshi didn't have to be an easy mode character just because he has a stronger moveset. They could have given us some more trade-offs. Since he has the flutter jump, maybe they substitute that for, wall jumps and spin jumps. It kind of accomplishes the same thing as the spin jumps, is more airtime. And Yoshi hasn't always been able to wall kick, so I think that would make sense. Give us the flutter jump and make us not be able to wall jump and spin jump with Yoshi. I see where they were coming from, I think, but I really don't think it was fully justification for making Yoshi specifically an easy mode character. I think what would have been better is if they gave you the option to turn on an easy mode toggle for any of the characters. If you're a kid and you stink at video games, like if you're really young, Mario Wonder is your first video game, and you want to play as Mario, no questions about it, you want to play as Mario, you should have had an option to make Mario an easy character, or an easy mode character that you don't take damage. You don't die from spikes. Why was that not done here? Why is easy mode relegated to Yoshi in this case? It's frustrating because, like I said, I don't do easy mode, but I love Yoshi. I'm so conflicted. I want to play as Yoshi in this game, but I don't want to do easy mode. I think Nintendo dropped the ball with that one, I'll be honest. But yeah, that's what I think so far. Yoshi is an absolute pleasure to play as in Super Mario Wonder, and I will admit, having him not take damage from enemies hasn't been as much of a deal breaker as I thought. Yeah, it makes it easier. But in Super Mario games, I don't know, like, if you're good at the game, you're not getting damaged that much by enemies anyway. It's not that horrible of a trade-off, so if you want to play as Yoshi, if you're adamant that you want to play Yoshi, look, there's no shame in playing as an easy mode character. I think that you're cheating yourself a little bit by playing easy mode. It kind of takes away the challenge and how the game was originally designed to be played. So I do think you're cheating yourself a little bit when you play a game on easy mode. It has its place, but if you're an experienced gamer, the normal mode should be your default. But in this specific instance, if you really want to play as Yoshi, there is no shame in it. Yeah, it's easy mode, but it's a Mario game. I don't think you're cheating yourself that much of the Mario experience just by playing as Yoshi. Again, if you're really good at Mario games, you're not getting damaged by enemies that much anyway, and he still does take knockback from the enemies. I just don't think it's that huge of a deal breaker. Especially after playing it, it's not as big of a deal breaker as I thought it would be. So again, if you really want to play Yoshi in Mario Wonder, go for it. There's no shame in it, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, feel free to subscribe and stay tuned for my future videos. And for those of you who have been waiting for my Yoshi's New Island retrospective, don't worry, I'm still working on it. I just thought it would be a good idea to talk about Yoshi and Mario Wonder since that game just came out. But either way, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you guys!